Okay. For me, today's talk will be on this construction set. Okay, I've developed this set by myself, so it's an invention of mine. But just like I don't intend to sell it. I just want to just give it away. Okay. So what's the long story short is that what I want to do is to get representation of or just design something that's based on voxels, and I want to have the thing is that when you design on a program like this, you can see it. We can't really touch it and get a feel of it. I don't really believe in the metaverse. I really believe in touching real stuff. So what I've developed is a construction set that can easily translate what you have done here to a physical item like this. So this is an example. Okay, so it's touchable, it's physical. So maybe I pass it around. I can have a feel of it. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's very light. It's a very efficient use of a material. Yeah. Okay, physical touchable object. Okay. Basic dimensions. So it's 125 by 255 millimeters by 200. And it weighs about 88.74 grams. So what that means is that on a standard wheel of a PLA material, if you know about 3D printers, you can make about 10 of these. Okay, so this obviously is not based on Lego blocks, but why don't I just use Lego blocks as a starting point? Okay, so now I just describe what Lego blocks are. I'm sure you know, but I just have to say it for completeness sake. Okay, so Lego blocks is a building block system of something on starts on top and NT starts on bottom. Right, connection is achieved through interference feed. Okay, so the thing about Lego is that, when you play Lego, you use up certain pieces and then you can't find the piece you want. And then you have so many other pieces that you just can't use. Okay, so that's a real problem. Okay, so that's a problem. That's a problem I want to solve for this construction set. Okay, another problem is that these blocks are not orthogonal. That means their height and their width is not the same. Okay, it's very hard to get square builds out of Lego. Okay, and also building sideways is very different from building it vertically. And for example, you can see here, right? If you want to extend the red block with the blue block, right, you basically have to replace everything and build it out of plates instead. Right, and if you are that's the thing about it. So that's the thing about Lego also. When they sell you a Lego block set, they also give you an example of what you can build. But most people, what they do is that they build the example on the box set, and after that, they find that they can't build much of anything else. So that to me is it's not really a good toy for free play. That means you just want to imagine something and you just want to build something out of it. This creates a lot of unnecessary complications. Okay, so this is an example of a perfect square. Sorry, a perfect cube in Lego. It's 48 by 48 by 48 millimeters. Okay, but it's very big. It's 6 by 6 by 5, so it's about this big. Well, not a good way to use it to design voxel-like sculptures. So why do we want to do a clean sheet design now? I mean, why don't you just square the Lego block and then just 3D print it? Isn't it so much easier? Okay, so the main difference now is that 3D printing now can be done in the home environment. Okay, and they can do how would I say? The kind of design rules, right? Which means that the things you can do and you can't do is very different from the technology used to produce Lego bricks. Okay, so there's a difference. So just by transferring a design from Lego to 3D printing isn't really the ideal way to use 3D printing to its fullest. Okay, so also there's a trend for hardware to become more open source, like RepRap. Okay, 3D printing used to be very expensive, right? Right now you can get 3D printers from AliExpress for like less than $200. It used to cost $200 to just make one model, maybe about 10 or 20 years ago, right? So it's not only about the hardware, the software to drive the design and the fabrication has also matured a lot. Okay, I'll say, especially for computer-aided design, right? So it comes to a point where you can do relatively complex designs using open source and free software. Okay, and last thing is that Lego is also not the good company that you think is this. All corporations are evil. Okay, if they feel that they're threatened, they will send you a very nasty legal letter, and yeah, you just take you just try to shut you down. It's not that. It's more of you don't have the money to fight these legal issues that cause all these companies to just ban all this or just take all these designs down. Okay, so now what I've done is that instead of there's so many parts in Lego, so all you need to do to build the cat, right? I'll just put it down there, it's okay. Yeah, it's only 4 pieces, right? So there's only 4 different kinds of pieces that you need to build this model here. Okay, so it reduces a lot of these logistical issues. Okay, there's a 5th part, it's optional. It's only when you need to get sharp corners. Okay, but so plus and minus, it may be very dangerous, so you may not want to use this part here. So how they work is that they have bumps and dents on the side, on the edges, to help the pieces lock together. Okay, and yeah, they are also keyed, right? This is through testing. They realize that sometimes you may connect wrongly. So this is to help you connect the pieces correctly. So these are the kinds of connections possible. So there's a straight connection and a 90-degree angle connection. Okay. So when you build the object, right, it finds the edges function like zippers, right? So the thing is that when the thing is not closed up, it's actually rather quite flexible. So it's easy for you to put the pieces together. But once you close this thing up, like this cube here, we close it up, it becomes very rigid, okay? And it can hold quite a bit of weight. So the real problem is that you have these 4 pieces, but how do you know which of the 4 pieces to use to build the model that you want, okay? So there are 2 kinds of methods. One is more of the intuitive edge following method, right? Where you follow the edge of the model you want, and then you choose one of these 12 fragments to fit there, okay? This is good for free play. That means I don't have any computers to help me design the model I want, right? I just want to say, oh, I want to have this protrusion here, okay? And then from either my memory or I have this as these 12 fragments as a guide, I can create a protrusion from an existing model, right? So the other method is to enumerate all the possible fragments for each face. So this is more suitable for computer-based planning, to plan which tiles go where. But I haven't automated it yet. I just enumerated all the possible pieces, that's all. Yeah, because I still go back to this intuitive edge method because I do mostly free play with this. Okay. Yeah. So the thing about it is that how much effort does it take to actually build this thing? So if I were to spend 5 minutes to print one panel, and then I have to stop, and then I have to fill it out, I mean, you're gonna run out of patience very soon. But the good thing about today's 3D printing tool chain is that you can print them in an array like this, right? And you can just plug them out without getting rid of any supports. Okay. So what you do is that you set the system up. Okay. You set the print. Then you wait for about 4 hours. Then you get 90 pieces of each part. Okay. So for this model, the CAD probably took about like 2 to 3 days of printing. Okay, the assembly itself would take about 2 to 3 hours. Yeah, so it's a good time, it's a good activity to pass time. Okay, so as I said, this is released as open source. Okay, you can copy the design, you can share the design. Okay, you can adapt it, you can make it bigger or smaller if you want. Okay, but you just remember that, just give me some credit, okay? That's all I ask for. Okay, so everything is available on GitHub, it's on this link here. Okay, you can grab the FreeCAD design files, STLs, and have a try at printing it yourself. Okay, so if you, how many of you have the sample kit? No. No, all those, only
I
a
think
few.
some of the morning folks might be in the other track.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should.
They're in the wrong room.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. So does it matter? Well, if you can print out the parts, and then you can try out using the sample kit. Okay. So the instructions are over there. Okay, that's it. So yeah, this model, the cat, the one multicolor one. So it has been color labeled, the blue, yellow, white, and orange. These are the 4 different parts that are needed. So it looks very weird. Yeah, but the thing is that you can choose any color you want, right? And give it a more decent look. Okay. Yeah, so that's all.
Thank you so much for your talk.
Let's go through Q&A now.
Sorry?
Let's go through Q&A
Yeah, let's go through Q&A. Is there any questions from the crowd? You want to scroll? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Come straight, yes.
So, how did you got about this idea? Like, what inspired you?
Oh, this one. Okay. How would I say this? It's more of it's more of a need to build a structure that is truly modular, right? Okay, the thing is about modularity. So there's some research being done into structures, right? Robotic structures, structures which can be assembled robotically. Okay, so the thing I've seen is that most of them try to construct trusses. You know, trusses is like sticks, then you assemble them in like a hexagonal pattern or honeycomb pattern. Yeah, so I feel that well, that's a way to build a space structure, yes, but a lot of structures that we see nowadays, they need to have a barrier. Like these trusses, they can't hold water, and you pour water on this the water will just fall through. So you need to have a system where you not only provide a structure, you also need to provide a barrier, right? So it can, let's say, contain a tank of fluid, for example. So it makes it more useful for modular applications. Yeah. So, well, I see it now as at this point, it's developed more as a toy. So it's to, like, I'll say just, okay, the thing about this is that it's be designed such that if you take any piece of the parts there, right, you can pass through the entire internal of the body. What I mean is that, okay, let's say if I take any piece, right, I open up, okay, I take any piece out here, okay, I drop it in, right, and you can come out the nose. Oh, okay. You understand? So the point of this is that there is a possibility of designing a robotic system to move this from any part of this through inside interior. So you're not restricted by, you know, from one side to the other. So it's more of like a transport system. So yeah, because if you've seen all these robotic systems, they tend to make each panel smart, but that's not really cost-effective or sustainable. You rather have something that's modular, that's easy and cheap to make, but you have a smart robot to move it around, and you have a structure here that helps the smart robot to navigate the internal structure here. Yeah, but that's very, very far ahead, right? But right now, as it is, it's just a toy. Hopefully, you can play around with it, and if you want, you also can develop a robot that can assemble this from the interior or something like that.
More questions? I see one on the crowd. Give me a while. Come.
Thank you for this creation for modularity. I see all your creation is orthogonal.
Yeah.
Any chance that there will be slant edges or other angles, like a prism or pyramid?
Okay. The thing is that if you can make a donut out of it. Okay, because this thing, right, this is not rigid, it's flexible to a certain degree. So you can make a circular ring, then you can make it like this. But if you're talking about, let's say, prism or slanted edges, my thinking was that okay, that will make that will contradict that. What I want to do is that you will just increase the number of parts in the system. Okay, one other thing you can try is that instead of making it like 25 millimeters cube like this, you can make it smaller, right? And smaller and smaller and smaller until you don't notice that it's stepped, but it's just a slope edge itself, right? So this is rather large. So imagine if this thing can be shrunk to, let's say, like 0.1 millimeters, then you build something out of it. Yeah, you may not even notice that there's a jagged edge. You understand what I'm trying to say? If you have really angled edges, you can do it, yes, but you just increase the number of parts, it goes against the principle of doing this.
Cool, thank you for the questions. I am very interested to do like 3D pixel art now. It's like not just in the metaverse, but 3D pixel art IRL, right?
Yeah, it's in real life. You can give it to your girlfriend or what? I'm
Cool.
sure they like it.
What? Cool.
Right.
So, thank you so much. Is there more questions? If not,
Okay.
let's have a round of applause.
Okay, thank you.